This is Worldwide Flava Network. Coast to coast and worldwide.
The views, information, or opinions expressed in the broadcast of Worldwide Flava Network are solely those of the individuals involved and does not represent those of Worldwide Flava Network and Live365.com. Worldwide Flava Network is not responsible and does not verify for accuracy of the information contained on any live or recorded broadcast available for listening overseas.
Hey, you guys, this is Anika from Anika Tells All.
Tune in every Thursday from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Worldwide Flava Network. See you then.
This show is being sponsored by Worldwide Flava Network. If you're looking to have your own radio show, come and join us here on WWFM Online Radio. Contact us via our website,
Everybody on vibrate. Silence.
All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Hot Topics Live with A. Michelle. Well, actually, this week it's me. My name is Singleton. I'm stepping in for A. Michelle this week. It is Thursday, and you want to turn in right now to Worldwide Flava Network. Listen, today we have a jam-packed show with some amazing guests, and I'll get to that in a moment. For now, before we get into the show, it is imperative that everyone under my voice, you tune in right now to Worldwide Flava Network by going to Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. That's right. You can see us all there. I need you to smash that subscribe button on YouTube, that follow button on Facebook and Instagram, and hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you listen to your online radio on, especially Live 365. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, write a comment about what we're going to be talking about today, and it's going to be a good time. So let's get into, just want to make sure that I have everything on point. With Worldwide Flava Network, we're here to give quality programming. So before we get into our show today, I also want to let everybody know that it's important that, you comment and you engage with us, because we're the type of show that wants to hear what you think too, right here on Hot Topics Live. So let's get into some good hot topics. So since A. Michelle is out, I decided to do a station takeover, and I'm going to talk about some things that's been happening over the last couple of weeks that I'm sure has come across your timeline. Little upsetting, but maybe not. Something to laugh at, but we don't know. And then we're going to get to our special guests. Guys, our special guests are a cast of very talented people from a brand new play that's about to come out called The Cries from the Choir Loft. We have the director and actors here from that play, and I'm going to introduce them all momentarily. Now let's get into the hot topics. So I'd like to give a shout out, first and foremost, to Baltimore's own Tanashi Coates, who is author of The Water Dancer, has been picked for Oprah's esteemed Oprah's Book Club. Wow. Woo! That's a big deal, guys. Just to let you know, he's already #1 on Amazon, Apple, and all of the big vendor lists that you could possibly think of. So go out and support Tanashi Coates and put The Water Dancer on your fall reading list. It's guaranteed. In other news, of course, New York rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine sang like a bird this week. Sang like a bird. He implicated everybody that he can find, including Harlem rapper Jim Jones, and even allegedly Cardi B was named, which happened not to be true. According to current sources, he will not be seeking witness protection. Please keep him in prayer. And of course, from one tragic person to the next, number 45, your time's up. That's what East Side girl Nancy Pelosi said. Official impeachment inquiries have been opened this week, filed by our very own Baltimore's own Nancy Pelosi, who is the honorable Speaker of the House. And she said, not today. You are not above the law. So according to the New York Times, peep this, y'all. According to the New York Times, the whistleblower was a CIA officer who detailed the White House right under your nose. Well, we'll be hearing more about that So keep close to the news for that. I don't think he's going to be kicked out of office. It's kind of running too close. And the last 2 or 3 presidents that got impeached, they didn't get kicked out of office. They just got impeached. So neither here nor there. We'll see what happens, though. I want to give a big shout out to the Washington Mystics and the Connecticut Sun. In sports news, they will be heading to the WNBA Finals this Sunday, October 28th in Washington, D.C. This is the first time Connecticut has been in the finals for the WNBA since 2005. And the team standout, her name is Courtney Williams. And also the other team standout is just Jasmine Thomas are coming for the crown. If you want to watch the WNBA finals this week on Sunday, September 29th on ESPN2 at 3 p.m. Eastern, then I definitely suggest you go check them out. Also tomorrow, on the 27th, it's a big music day. So if you love music like I do, get your Spotifys and your titles ready. Kanye West, Jesus is King is coming out. Young M.A., Her Story in the Making. Dama Wilson just dropped today, chapter 25. If you know who that is, she's a big YouTuber. The Baby, if you like hip hop. Kevin Gates and Sky Zoo and Pete Rock with Retropolitan all are coming out or have come out this week. So you want to check them out for all the music lovers. Now let's get in to our host and our guest today. Now, I'm stepping in for A. Michelle. She sends her love to everybody that typically tunes into her. So go to her page, A. Michelle, and send her some love. Throw a heart, couple emojis on her page, and tell her that you're with her and that you're praying for her. She's doing well. She just had to take a time out for a moment, but she'll be back next week. But today we have some very special guests. Today, the special guest is the cast of an awesome play that's going to be premiering September 28th here in the Baltimore area from the Cries from the Choir Loft. And it's based upon a novel. Is that correct? All right. So you want to lean forward. I would like you guys to introduce yourself and say your name, say your position in the play, and just then we're going to talk a little bit about what this play is about. You go first.
It's great to be back with the Worldwide Flavor Network. I'm Brandon Fields, the author of the novel and the playwright for the script of The Cries from the Choir Loft. And now you'll get to meet some of the greatest people in the world, the cast that is going to portray this amazing story.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to go around and please step forward, give your name and the character you play.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shantae Johnson, and I will be playing Jocelyn.
Hey everyone, my name is DeAndre Harris, and I'll be playing Philip, the crazy preacher.
Hello everybody, my name is Janelle Jeffers, and I will be playing Kelly.
Hello everyone, I'm Tabitha Renee, and I'll be playing Lori.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Gerard Pinkett, and I play the role of Kendall Brown.
What's good, folks? My name is Sean Thomas. I'll be playing Lewis.
And hi everybody, my name is Alyssa, and I will be playing Portia.
Awesome. Well, welcome, you guys. I'm actually familiar with a few of you through Facebook. All of you are multi-talented people. So I'm really excited that all of you have come together. So what I'm interested in first is, how did you, Brandon, collect so many talented people at one time for this play? Tell us how it got started.
I got lucky. When I originally put this script together, I had no idea where to even start looking. But I had a few people in my pocket who I knew would absolutely be interested in this. One being Sean Thomas, who literally pushed me, physically abusive, pushed me to make sure that this happened. And then from there, I'm not exaggerating. God literally put the right people in my life at the right time. This is actually the second round, I'll say, with this show.
Okay.
We did this originally back in 2014. So this is a revival show in the year of grace. Thank you. But this time around, we made a couple of changes, and God sent me 3 amazing new actors to the show that really completed this cast and made the chemistry exactly what we needed.
Okay, fantastic. So with the process from 2014 to now, what did you have to go through? Like what happened? What's the tea?
Only way to put that, like I told A. Michelle last time, I went through hell. Literally.
Wow.
I watched the enemy completely try to disband us as a family. We lost actors due to other jobs. We lost actors due to lack of desire to really serve. We lost actors almost to the United States Army, actually. So we got to a point where we kind of just had to shut down.
Okay.
And I was more discouraged than anything back then because I really thought it was time for this kind of thing to happen. But God had to put it on hold for it to really wait until the season it was time for. So when I rounded up most of my vets who did this show with me originally, nobody asked questions. Nobody even thought twice. Everybody jumped back in. And for the 3 that I needed to replace, God literally dropped them to me. Janelle's new for me. Janelle's actually one of my vocal students who has been working tirelessly since the age of 16. She's Broadway bound, so y'all keep an eye out for her. Alyssa Mayhew is an amazing actress. You guys have to come on the 28th to get to know her and see what she's capable of. And then Tyreeka Renee, who I've known also, since she was 17 years old. So God dropped people in my life who were more than capable, who were more than talented, and actually he's blown my mind with the talents and the abilities of everybody that is in this cast.
That's amazing. And I noticed that, when I researched and looked at the different flyers, I said, oh my gosh, this person's great. This person's going to be so cool. And I tried not to do any sneak peeks. And for those that are listening and watching online, I want to ask about the concept, where it came from, what really inspired you to bring this thing to life? Because when you bring a creative work to life, I know that it can mirror reality, but then it allows you the opportunity to kind of put some fun things in there and be really creative. So where did the concept stem from? What's that history?
So I'll spark this off, and then I'm going to actually hand this off to the cast. I literally wrote based on the reality that I saw growing up. And what I did was literally wrote down what I thought I heard and what I thought I felt from people that I literally stood next to on the choir. Once we came together and made this a cast and I gave it to these actors, I absolutely said, I need you to make this your own. Some of them have gone through some of these things. Some of them have watched people that they love go through these things. And the concept really was built by the people in this room. And then I will let y'all kind of jump in on how you conceptualized bringing your characters to life.
Say your name and your character so people can know.
This is Shantae. I play Jocelyn again. My character, she's one of the most controversial characters or souls or beings or humans or people that you will find in a church today because of everything that's going on. So I can't give away too much, but the base of Jocelyn is love. A lot of people are lacking and in pain. And the worst thing to go through something like this when you feel like you don't have the love you want, you don't have the support you want, you don't have the family that you desire or want, you don't have the friends that you want. You're constantly going through disappointment. You're constantly going through betrayal. You're constantly just let down when you're giving your all, but for some reason it's not being returned to you. That can put you in a very dark place. That can make you shut down and, actually miss blessings. So it's because many of us deal with these things, but we don't speak about it.
Yeah.
We still put a smile on our face. It's okay. What can you do? Some of us do wear it on our face, but I'm not too far from Jocelyn. I've been in places where all I want is love. So it's not hard to connect with her.
Okay.
So I really dig deep within experiences that I've had in my past. And that's what makes it so easy for me to convey her story to the audience, because I'm not giving you something that's fake. I'm definitely giving you something that's real. And you can only connect with people when you feel the pain that they've ever felt. So that's another thing about this play that means so much to me, because we all connect with our characters in some way, shape, or form. And it's nothing like to actually pour your heart out to someone who has been there.
Yeah.
Because you can cry and speak to someone all you want to, but you will still feel alone. no one really knows how you feel but you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think messages like what you're portraying in the play is so important, because it's going to touch somebody. Somebody in the audience is going to say, "That's me." Oh my gosh. So I want to get in deep on this topic. So yeah, so let's go down, scoot on over, get close, get close, because I really want to hear from everybody, because everybody plays a different character here. So I really want to hear how their characters really kind of impacted them on a personal level when you were going through the process of creating your characters. And now, on the 28th, you'll be actually putting it on stage in front of people. So what about you?
Once again, I'm DeAndre Harris, and I play Philip, who is a pompous young adult preacher. He hide behind his collar, hide behind his robe, hide behind his gift, and hide behind the pulpit. He wants a lot, but he's seeking in the wrong places. He adds himself out through his attitude, through his emotions, through his family, like life trials that he's been through with his family and friends, stuff like that. Nobody wants to listen to him, but he's crying out like, I'm here, y'all. I need y'all help. And he feels like nobody wants to listen. And with this role, me channeling this role, there is a crazy young adult preacher in every Black church, especially in the city of Baltimore. And if you're going to be real, we're going to be real. There is one in almost every Black church here. And I've seen a lot, even though I'm not a minister yet.
We're claiming it.
Yet. I've seen a lot behind the scenes. Me working in youth leadership in different churches and with other ministries. I've seen the pompous, ignorant youth pastors that doesn't really care but want the title. Like they put themselves in the forefront but can't really like do the work.
They want the clout, but not the work.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
So
we can talk about this for hours.
It was kind of easy for me to channel this because I've seen it a lot working in youth ministries.
Understood.
So, but Philip is a mess.
So we're gonna see how messy it gets on the 28th.
He's a mess. He's a screamer. He's a crier.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
He's the drama.
But he's by himself. He stays quiet though. But he's a quiet storm.
Okay. So that's why you guys need to get your tickets for the 28th. And we'll talk about how you guys can get the tickets, those that are listening. If you're within driving distance of this great play, you want to make yourself come and bring a friend, bring some family members. It's great. You're going to love this. I'm going to go to the next person that's right next to you. Come on, tell us a little bit about your character and how it's personally connected with you.
Well, again, I'm Janelle and I play Kelly. For me, Kelly she's just trying to be heard. She's trying to have her voice and she feels silence. And I've personally experienced that just in life, just feeling like everything that I say, nobody's really hearing me. I'm talking for no reason. I'm trying to get somewhere, but it's not really happening. Kelly's trying to follow her dream, but everybody else getting somewhere. And we all in life, we have those times where we think we getting somewhere and then we see somebody else that's doing what we want to do. And it's just not our time, but we feel sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's just like, dang, like when do I get it? Do I get to do that same thing? Do I get to do what I want to do? And I felt that, like Brandon said, I've been doing music since I was 16. So for me, I don't have nothing to show. Well, I felt like I didn't have anything to show for that. And it wasn't until I just told myself, hey, I'm gonna put myself in my art, that's when I felt, oh, I am getting where I need to be.
Right.
It has nothing to do with what I see on social media, with what this person's doing. My friend that I felt like, oh, she was never into this, but now all of a sudden she into this. You go through those things.
Yes.
But now I see it. And for me, that's what Kelly was. She was me back then in the day.
Okay.
Everybody else.
And now you've grown from that.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Who's next? Use that one. That's good.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh.
Oh
boy. Yeah, don't give me a character.
Come on with it.
I'm Tarika Renee. I play Lori. Lori, to me,
Move up a little bit.
you can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lori is unapologetic. She speaks her mind, but she's dealing with a lot of pain, which the pain she's dealing with, I could definitely relate to. Her father left her when a while ago. Um, and after, once your father is your first love, if you don't have that, you
I
always
agree
gonna
with
have a
that.
wall up
Yeah.
about men. Period. It don't matter the situation. You're never going to have respect for men. Um, it don't matter how whatever way you look at it. And in her life, I don't want to give so much away, but down the line, she deals with more things, bad things with men. So her attitude is like, ugh, you can't tell Lori nothing. She's so it's definitely easy for me to be the main girl because I can do it sometimes. I'm a moody person, but Lori is definitely mean. She don't care about your feelings. She's gonna say what's on her mind.
Right.
I can definitely relate to her. I love the girl. I'm glad Brandon chose me to be Lori because some emotions that I do have that I had in the past come up. And it helps me to go ahead and just scream those feelings out on stage in front of a lot of people. So I think that sums up Lori, right? Because I don't want to give it because I know I keep running my mouth.
Yeah. Don't
I
give
don't want to go into details about.
don't
what
give
really,
too much away because
Yeah.
our listeners at Worldwide Flavor Network, I don't want them to cheat you guys out of making sure that they actually show up for this great
Just come
great
to the
grand
show
occasion.
September 28th. And let me hurry up and say this because I don't want to interrupt y'all. But y'all can pay at the door. Okay? Y'all got to keep calling us to try to get tickets.
Yeah, but
y'all
listen.
can pay at the door. The same price of the tickets. Pay
Listen,
at the door.
it's Thursday at this point, so it's either you pay now or you pay at the door. So let's make it happen and show up and support these beautiful brown, melanin filled people that are talented. So we're gonna go to the next character. I want to find out more. We're gonna go to whoever step up to the mic. Whoever's next, come on.
It's my turn.
Say your name and your character and.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Alyssa. Oh, thank you.
You're helpful around here.
And I will be portraying the role of Portia. Portia is the pretty girl. The pretty girl that seems like she has it all together. She grew up with a mother and a father. She has lots going for her, but nobody really likes her. Everyone pretends that they like her. So I personally resonate with my character a lot because I wouldn't consider myself a pretty girl, but
girl, you are pretty.
Oh, now hold on.
No, I love my family. Thank you. Anyway, but I grew up with both parents. I grew up, not having to grow up in Baltimore. I'm not from Baltimore.
Where you from?
I'm originally from Texas.
Oh, nice.
But I lived here for 15 years of my life, but I never grew up, in the inner city. I never had struggles like everybody else. But not to say I haven't gone through my own personal problems.
Right.
So like Portia, she goes through a lot internally, but nobody looking at her, it looks like she has it all together.
Right. There's a lot of people out there like that.
Oh, yeah.
They don't look like they're struggling. So you don't assume that they have problems. They always say, check on your strong friends,
Yes,
and there's a lot of good looking, well put together people that commit suicide.
Yep.
People don't know that.
Very true. So that's my character. And honestly, I don't want to give out all her business because, like I said, I look good right now. But on Saturday,
oh, you about to turn up? Yes.
Different story. So I'm super excited.
Awesome. And then we're gonna, last but not least, the gentleman in the back.
So my name is Gerard Pinkett. I play the role of Kendall Brown, the only person with the last name in this production. But no.
Congratulations.
But no, Kendall is a one-man band. Like he's just him, all by himself, trust no one. He's out on the island, so to speak. And he's really closed off. Like he wants to trust, but he can't allow himself to. for the simple fact of his past and his history with his family and everything like that. And me personally, like I don't have like a huge past, but I do have issues with trusting people. So I'm a very guarded person. I'm very observant first meeting people. And yeah, Kendall is just, yeah, he's self-made. Self-made. Very successful guy.
Swap out. All right, folks. My name.
Last but not least, we have.
My name is Sean Thomas. I will be playing Lewis. As far as having the ability to connect to my character, my connection comes from a very natural place. Being one that came up with, again, both of my parents in the church, a lot like my character, but being introduced to a lot of the wayward ways of church, being introduced to a lot of that in church, having a primarily guarded childhood where I had not just one praying grandmother, I had two. I had a grandfather that was a father figure. I had uncles. I had my dad. But still, I found myself even walking some ways and walking down some valleys and some roads that were not necessary. But because I was introduced to them in church, I felt like, well, hey, if I could do them here, I could do them anywhere. So I feel as though portraying my character as Lewis, initially I could say I thought he was one of the weakest characters because I felt like his struggle was so whatever because I felt like everybody does it. But then I was reminded the reason why I thought that way was because of the experiences that I've had and because of the tolerance that the church has built up. And tolerance literally is just the sacrificing of moral statutes and beliefs. And even in, 1 Samuel 15:22 says,
All right.
it's better to be obedient than to sacrifice. So there's a revival that starts within this particular character because I believe that there are some people who will look at his struggle and not see it as a struggle. Unfortunately, this is where the body of Christ, there are a lot of people that will be tuned in and maybe listening that may not be a part of the church any longer or a part of the church. You guys need to hear that we are not here to demonize you. This is literally, like they say, a preacher's preacher. This is a preacher's and a church's ministry because we've got to deal with and start reprimanding and holding accountable what's happening in the house. Because what's happening in the house is what's tainting those who are leaving the house and not coming back. The truth of the matter. So until we slap our own hands, our own wrists, and start dealing with the fact that we have offered a watered down Christianity and we've offered a powerless Christ that does not have power to change, heal, save, and deliver. We don't offer that because we make everything so tolerable and we say everything is okay to bring into the church. No, we've made enough excuses. We've given enough biological data that supports why people act this way and do that. Enough of that. We got to get back to the supernatural power of God. And if we don't believe that, we need to leave the church because that is the foundation. The foundation is miracle signs and wonders. And those miracle signs and wonders are as simplistic as the small deliverances that we all need as far as our characters are considered. So I'm not taking, I'm a little aggressive when it comes to my character because I feel like there are so many. Oh, okay.
You're committed. No, you're committed, and I like that.
I mean, when you've lived it, and I feel as though there's a part of me that will always take responsibility for the decisions that I made, but I can't take responsibility for those that introduced me to some of the tables and some of the opportunities that were put in front of my face and shoved down my throat. So unfortunately, for a lot of young people that grew up and were envied, the ones who had both of their parents, the one who was taken care of, a lot of us were envied and we were bullied in church. And we were made to feel like, you know what, well, if you don't do this with us, you ain't hip, you ain't cool. So school wasn't the first place where bullying started, actually.
It started at church. And you know what? Not to interrupt your thought, but one thing that as you were speaking and then everybody else was speaking, two words came to mind when all of you were connecting your characters to yourself. The two words that came to mind, church hurt. Church hurt. and it's amazing, the place where we should feel loved and comfortable and safe and protected, and it's a safe space to have faith and believe in God. We've experienced so much confusion and pain in that place. So what I want to do is it's amazing because a current event, I kind of keep my ear to what's happening, and it's a lot because not only there's current events, but what happens in the church too. And one of the things that came up this week and last week was when Ti came to New Birth for Sunday services and then blasted Bishop Hilliard for asking for an offering. And so that brought up the whole topic about how people feel church, the part one portion or a slice of the church hurt was, feeling like you have to give your money. People feel like they feel exploited. That's what he said. So that was like incredible to me because I was like, were you even listening to to the initial service? But I mean, we can go into depth about that. But I really wanted to really talk about, like, with church hurt, was that really a part of the inspiration, like your own church hurt or your own experience with your relationship with your congregation, your pastor, and some of the members of your church that kind of bought this whole idea of the cries from the choir loft out?
To be very honest, no.
No? Okay.
No. I am one who believes, I understand the concept of being hurt in church.
Yeah.
But I don't back the concept of church hurt.
Okay.
Because the reality is, at the end of the day, we, as the body of Christ, we are the church. So
Okay.
if it's anything, it's just us hurting one another versus the building that we come to commune in being the place of pain.
Okay.
Where this really derived from for me was understanding that there are very real things happening to our young people.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't talk about it. A lot of them don't face it. A lot of them lie about it because they feel like they're going to be judged, they're going to be mistreated, and they feel like they'll maybe even be ousted and put out on Front Street for stuff that everybody else is doing. But because I go to church, I can't be caught doing this. I can't be seen doing that. I can't be with this one, that one. This came from a place of literally feeling like we depend heavily on the hearts, minds, spirits, and voices of these young people to serve in ministry. But we don't seem to care as much about what they're going through when the choir robe comes off.
Mm-hmm.
So we care about the entity that helps usher us into worship, but are we concerned about what it takes for them to actually get up and get to church? Are we concerned about what happens to them Monday through Friday when nobody's watching them and nobody's identifying them as a church kid anymore?
Yeah.
Are we paying attention to what's going on in their hearts and minds that's making them either want to walk away from the church or turn their backs on God, period?
Yeah.
That's where this really came from, because the Bible tells us there will be a great falling away from the church. But the reality is, if we are the church, how are we falling away from that which we already are?
Right.
And what is it that's in us that's not coming out, or that's coming out but being ignored, that people are not paying enough attention to?
Mm-hmm.
This is a literal therapy session.
Yeah,
Sit
it is.
down and listen to me, because if you don't, something's going to happen.
Right. So what would you say is one of the takeaways that somebody that's going to be attending on September 28th, what do you think someone will take away from this message? Anybody?
Identify what hurts you.
Say that, come close to the mic and say that one more time.
Identify what really hurts you. Accountability is one thing that the church lacks.
Mm-hmm.
We're quick. If you go to school and get bullied or get in a fight and lose the fight, you don't leave it and call it school hurt.
Wow.
Well, so come on now.
You just dispelled the whole myth. Go ahead.
Okay.
Wow. When it comes to accountability and liability, it's going to come to a point where churches that have established ministries that actually take care of their people are going to want to be separated from the churches that do exploitations and stuff like that. It's coming to a point now where we are us and they are them, and it's time now to help the members at their church heal, because at the end of the day, it don't matter if they're members of their church or mine. We're all the body,
right?
So it kind of is like, well, dang, we got to take an L for the team, regardless of who your pastor is.
Yep.
The ideology of exploiting people, The church has got to stop exploiting the youth and stop calling it trying to involve the youth, because we always walk in churches and they say, well, we just got to get the youth here. Well, when you get them there, what are you doing when they get there? Are you just using them? Are you using them as a marketing strategy? Because see, in that instance, you're talking about having people in place that will attract other people. So now you want to use them like a rag and wring them dry, and then when they're all dried out, you're not pouring water back into the pail to replenish them.
Right.
So at this point, it's just kind of like, okay, we got to start holding people accountable and start showing people that it's not holding you accountable is not to demonize you, but it's to show you the error of your ways so that you can make it right, because you're still alive, which means you have time to do so. So that's just that.
Anybody else want to touch on that?
I'm gonna go on a slightly another way with that, especially from what conversation that I was having last night with spirituality. I feel that a lot of people depend too much on the church for their relationship with God, when technically there is a spirituality to it completely. And when you put that type of responsibility in the hands of others, because the arms of flesh will always fail you anyway, you're setting yourself up for failure. So in this play, you will see us how we connect with God individually in our relationships with Him. It's a lot deeper than it's a lot of. I said this. I was having a conversation with Gerard. The saddest thing right now in the church is that majority of the people in church are spiritually dead.
Wow.
You know, where does it go from here? Like Brandon said, what's going on Monday through Friday?
Right.
Are you having that daily conversation? Are you daily bringing your problems to Him? Are you holding yourself accountable, because you know what's on the inside of you?
Yeah.
You know what's in your mind. You know what's in your heart. But yet we're so quick to blame others for what's going on with us, when majority of the time, when we're not walking the walk that we should be walking with Christ, we're bringing our own issues on ourselves. Because you're out of line, you're out of bounds of where you should be and where you're called to be. All of us have a calling, all of us have some type of purpose, but we're selfish. We want to do what we want to do. So most of the time we want to stay away from religion and things like that, because it's too much structure. It's
dogma.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, so now it comes to you pick what you want.
Yeah.
That fits your narrative in this life, and it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
At all. So, like I said, within Jocelyn, you'll see how her relationship with God, that she's dealing with herself now. At this point, it's only between her and God. You can go to church all you want to, which is a good place to be, because you're surrounded by other godly people. You know, you're able to fellowship the way that you're supposed to. But when you're away, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Where are you? And that's where a lot of people suffering to me. So that's mine.
Anybody else want to add in? Like, what do you think somebody will take away from this?
I just want to make a general statement.
Yeah, you got it.
I would want people to take away, just love yourself enough. That's it. Love yourself enough. Stop living for other people. I heard what you said about being selfish. Sometimes you do have to be selfish. Sometimes being selfish is okay.
Yeah.
Because you're taking so much time to do what mommy wants you to do, what daddy wants you to do, what pastor wants you to do, what the youth ministry wants you to do. And you're still not benefiting from that. So you have to step back and be selfish. You have to love yourself enough to know, okay, this is too much for me. Now, what can I do for myself to move forward?
Awesome.
So that's what I want to say. Love yourself enough and live for yourself.
Amazing.
I'll say,
go ahead.
So I can get over here, Charlotte. I'll say I want somebody to take back the feeling of going to work. Like, the work has to be done now. You see what we're going through. You see what we're crying out. Now, what can you do to do that for your church? Like, I work in youth ministry at my church, and it's striving. But we see a lot of the young folk not wanting to do anything. They leaving the church. They don't want to do, like, they just dead. Like, everything. It's not just my church. It's church all over. Like,
yes.
We're not bridging that gap. Like, there's a big gap that's missing from, I would say, because I would say I'm in that mid 80, late 80 gap where we love
millennial.
The beginning stage of millennial. Millennial, right? Where we was, but in our era, we love to come to church. We love going on retreats. We love doing this. We love doing that. And like, it's like now the generation now, they barely want to come to church. Like, we were forced to go to church.
Right.
It was beaten and instilled in us. My mother made sure me and my brother was in church every Sunday.
Mhm.
But it's like now the parents are not forcing their kids to go to church. They like it's like there's no love in the church. You're being fussed at if you don't do this right. If you don't sing that note right, then you're gonna get off the choir laws. Or you're not dancing right. You're not on the dance ministry anymore. So it's like I want leaders, like ministry leaders, to come and see what the hurt is of why you put someone off the ministry because they didn't look right, or they didn't sound right, or they didn't wear this right, or they're homosexual, or
Ooh, come on.
hello. It's
Hello?
like we focus on the wrong sins,
Yes.
and that's just driving a lot of young people out of the church.
Mhm.
So, like for the young people to come view us, take what we went through, or what we're going through in our characters, and take that back to your church and see what can you do to change the atmosphere of your church.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of the elders in the church are ageist towards the millennials and Gen Zs?
Yeah, it's too traditional.
Yeah.
They're stuck in
They're
their
not
ways.
open-minded to how the kids that are born 2000 and younger are seeing things in the world.
Right. Things have to evolve. Things have to change.
Yeah.
And like this is the era where you got to go out and grab these young folk because they're in the street.
Yeah.
They're elders.
Right.
Elders are lazy.
Very.
Speak for it.
The elders are lazy. When
Ooh.
you get to a place, if you work a job and you start at the bottom, you have that hunger in you to get to a certain level in the corporate level. And you'll climb that ladder until you get to that place. And then when you reach that place where your salary is tight, your plans are set, 401k is set, pension set, then you lose that fight to go further. And I think that plateau mentality is in church a great deal. So you have a lot of leaders that say, hey, I'm going to heaven. Or in their mind, they feel like they are. And then they leave this entire generation and they say, well, hey, if you don't do it the way I'm doing it, you need to figure out how to do it. That's between you and God, as if nobody helped them. Nobody stayed with them. Nobody. Yeah. And I mean, even some people joke about it, but nobody was at the altar with you working the altar when you got saved or you came to that place where you were able to release. So like, it's just to me, it's very lazy and lackluster with leadership of certain churches. Well, no, within the body. I won't say certain churches because I don't want to demonize any one particular church.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, there's enough finger pointing.
Yeah.
Accountability has nothing to do with finger pointing. Accountability says that I'm responsible enough to say, you know what? I did that and I repent to you. Right. I repent to the next generation. Because the truth of the matter is the millennials have to repent to a whole nother younger generation.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we've spent so much time being hurt that we don't invest the Jesus in our own kids. Like we don't, it's kind of crazy because it's kind of like we spend from 18 to almost 40 years old struggling, but then we birth another generation of children into this and we can't even reach out and give them, yes, Jesus loves me, for the Bible tells me so. Like we don't even have those foundational attributes and elements that we were given, that we give our kids because we're so hurt. After a while, you have to say, you know what? If you're not going to hold up accountability for what you've done to me, I forgive you. God bless you. I'm going to take the greater of God that's in me, and I'm going to press forward to the mark in Christ Jesus. And that's just going to be it. Because some people are not going to take accountability.
Right.
Some people are going to absolutely push back.
Okay.
Yeah. It is what it is.
So to piggyback off that for takeaways, this show, unbelievably, I shared with Michelle last time I was here that one of the things I struggled with when it came to this show was that I wrote the bulk of the material back in 2010. And Sean, who's one of my closest friends naturally, will tell you how I was terrified to put this on stage because I was terrified that the church was going to think we were trying to quote unquote expose them. I thought I thought people were going to take this as we're trying to tell you everything you've done wrong. Now fix it. No. What this show does is cross generational barriers.
Right.
For the elders who helped raise my generation, it kind of calls to remembrance not only the things that they watched go on and didn't say anything about, but it reminds them of the same stuff that they went through that nobody was there for them.
And I
through.
commend you for that because so many people have so many stories to share or their own testimonies to share, but they're scared because they feel like, oh, if I do this, this church will feel this way, or this pastor or this church leader will feel this way, or this group will feel this way. And sometimes it takes the courage for that person to step up and say, this is what happened. And somebody's going to learn from that. And ultimately, I feel like people will be blessed by this amazing testimony through this story. And that, like I said before, they'll see themselves in each one of the characters. They'll find themselves on the stage and be like, okay, well, yeah, I identify with this person and that person, the youth pastor, the mean girl, the talented person. I mean, it'll all line up. So as we come to we're gonna come to a close very soon, but I wanted to ask you about in the past 2000, from 2010 when you conceptualized it to 2014 when you first started it and showed it on stage to now on the 28th. What is after the 28th, what's next for the play? Do you plan on touring it?
We go on tour.
She just
We going on tour.
I'm leaving the door open for God to do what God needs to do with this production. When I first did this, when I first wrote it, I don't stand on a platform by any means when I say this, but I know God set me apart with this show. I've been to so many plays in my life. I've been introduced to so many playwrights. I've seen so many messages. I've acted on stage myself. This show is so different from what you are used to going to a play. I've had to explain to so many people that have been looking for the tickets and interested in seeing, explaining this is not your normal church play. This is not we gonna get up and shout hallelujah at the end of the play and sing a great, amazing song and say goodnight, folks. This show makes you think, it makes you feel, and it makes you absolutely pay attention. The way these 8 cast members of mine pour their emotions out, but not in an emotional way, if you understand what I'm saying. Because sometimes we get caught up in the emotionalism of being human versus understanding the reality of the life that we have to live. And that's been something that has been cast on the church for years. You know, we all just emotional people. Well, first of all, we're humans, so we're gonna be emotional. But these castmates of mine literally pull you into their worlds and make you feel every pain, every hurt, every stress and strain that they've gone through. And they do it in a way that everybody can connect to it in some way, shape, or form. They stand in the gap for the generation of now that's literally living this life. But the thing that pains me and why I think God really had me re-release it is I look at the babies that are now coming up. I look at my God kids who literally watch me as if I am God. It's very scary because they do the things I do. They say the things I say. I have a goddaughter who literally will shout on command just because she's always seen her mother do that or me. Like, we have a generation watching, wondering what they're actually supposed to be doing.
And they'll repeat what you do.
They will repeat what you do. And if we don't instill in them the right things, they're going to wind up going down these same paths that we did. And things are going to be messier. It's going to get dirtier and it's going to get much worse. And this show really puts you in a place of understanding just how bad things can actually get.
So with that in mind, do you see it flipping to a screenplay or is it coming to film?
God, yeah, listen. Yeah.
Come on. Well, come on. If you got to shout it, shout it to the hills.
I would love to see this as a movie or even the funny thing about it is these characters, one of the things, and most people that have done this show before, y'all will remember, these characters are so strong, they could be mini series on their own. Like they all have a
Why not do a YouTube web series?
We might see what happens.
I think that's the wave. You know what I mean? I actually one of my dear friends, Alfred and Sherelle Duncan, they had their wedding went viral online, and then they ended up doing a play, and that play ended up going to the African American Theater Project in DC. So they went to a theater festival. So like the possibilities are endless. It also could end up going to a YouTube series or a Netflix or something like that. We never know. Like it depends.
Call me though. Like we could do
Call
that.
him. Call him.
I'm in the book. You can find
on
me.
Facebook. He responds quickly. Very quickly. Okay. But for now, guys, for now, I want to say before we end, I want to thank all of you for taking a moment into diving deep into your characters, what it means to you, what it means to the church, as well as what this is going to really mean for people that are going to come and sit in the theater on the 28th and really take the time out to invest. Now, I want you to run over really quickly. It's just a few days away, how people can get the tickets, how they can continue to follow everyone on the cast and stay connected to what's going to happen next.
Absolutely. We are literally less than 48 hours out.
48. Are y'all nervous, first of all?
Listen, I keep getting up and having these dreams like I'm in front of everybody, like, and everybody's staring at me, and I'm like, so.
No, we got this. But no, we absolutely would love Baltimore to join us. Saturday, September 28th, 2019, 2500 Emerson Avenue, Perkins Square Baptist Church. It's the big stone church on the corner of Emerson and Warwick. You can't miss it. Doors open at 5 o'clock. Show will start promptly at 6, and it's not an amazingly long show, folks. So if you late, you're gonna be a little mad at yourself. I'm telling you. Tickets are still available. Thanks be unto God. VIP is completely sold out.
Boom.
We still have general admission tickets available. You can absolutely cash app the company at $BLINED, or you can absolutely show up on Saturday once the doors are open at 5 and purchase your ticket. I'm telling you, this is something you don't want to miss. I want to go back to something that one of my cast members said. Leaders of churches, leaders of ministries, come out. Come out. If you don't bring your young people, at least show up for yourself. This is a unbelievably different situation than I think everybody thinks. Yes, this show is in a church, but this is not just a church show. I'm telling you, this is for everybody. These stories are real, and these situations are the ones that everybody's dealing with, whether you are in church or right outside of it.
And will be people in the cast doing live singing and everything, and whole band, the whole shebang is going to be involved, correct?
I'd be a piece of that. There's definitely a live band. Hello.
Okay, a lot of band.
They're amazing.
There's
Awesome.
definitely a live band. Other than that, y'all got to come to the show.
Yeah, just
to catch a couple of the little surprises that
bring
I've
a friend, bring a friend with these talented people. Thank you guys so much. Before we get out of here, I just want to shout out. There's some people in the live chat. First of all, A Michelle has tuned in, so she's been watching. Yay!
Hope you feel better.
Yes, hope she feels better. We love her dearly. A Evans, Sharon Smith, and who else? Oh, that's your family. And Shawnee J. Thank you so much for tuning in on the live stream. Just a few things, you guys. Just make sure that you share this show with your friends before the 28th. Get those last minute tickets. You can buy them at the door, correct? Okay. And also, Worldwide Flava Network is supporting the show. We will be posting the flyer on our site. You can go to worldwideflavanetwork.com. That's our main site. You can go to WWFN Online Radio on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, everywhere you are. And if you missed the show and you need to catch it later, go to Mixcloud and you can find that show later and then play it back. But I'm hoping that we can have all of you back in some shape, form, or fashion. So, okay, stay connected. You're now a part of the WWFN family. And before we close it out, I want each and every one of you to say your name, your character, and give them your social media if you want to be followed online. We're going to start at this end.
Okay, I'm Gerard Pinkett. I play Kendall, and my Instagram is Mr. Ambition25, and you can follow, like, and subscribe, and follow me on YouTube at Worldwide Love.
Awesome. Oh yeah!
All right, folks, my name is Sean Thomas. Once again, I'll be playing Lewis. You can follow me on Instagram at Mr. Taylor Rowe, and you can also follow me on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share The Taylor Rowe Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tarika Renee. I will be playing Lori in the play. My Instagram is Tarika Renee. Oh, at Tarika Renee. Some part y'all might forget how to spell my name. So it's TYREIKA RENEE. The same thing as Facebook.
Oh. Hi, everybody. It's Alyssa, and I will be portraying the role of Portia. You can find me on IG at _Alyssa Janae, ALYSSIA JANAE, and that is the same as Facebook.
Hi, everybody. Janelle again, and I play Kelly. You can follow me on Instagram at Lolita Loren. Oh, Lolita.Loren. Lolita Loren.
All right.
Yes. Yes for the spelling.
Yeah.
It's DeAndre again. I play the role of Philip. You can catch me on Instagram at One Love Dre, which is ONE, the number one, LOVEDRAY. And you can find me on Facebook at my name, which is DeAndre, the apostrophe ANDREA, the letter L for my middle name, and Harris as my last name.
Hello, everyone. This is Shantae Johnson again. You can find me on Instagram as Shawnee J. That's SHAUNNIEJ. And I look forward to, I don't know, talking, looking at you, speaking with you, being friends with you. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and rounding it out, Brandon Sean Fields, author, director, part-time actor. Ugh, I'm gonna get off stage one of these days. You can absolutely you can absolutely follow me on Instagram at be the THEE songwriter, as well my full name on Facebook, and we really hope to see you all there this Saturday.
Absolutely. The cries from the choir loft. Thank you guys one more time. September 28th. Doors open at 5. Showtime at 6. Do not be late. That is, what's the name of the church? Perkins Square Baptist Church, 2500 Emerson Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21223. If you're within driving distance of Baltimore, just come on down, pack the car up. DCV, North VA, Dover, Delaware, Philly, come on in. Western Maryland, come on in. Eastern Shore, come on into Baltimore. Go get you something to eat before the play. Come to the play. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe you can after party with the cast if they want to hang out with you. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But before we wrap up today, I just want to let you know Anika Tells All will be back next Thursday, October 3rd at 10 p.m. And make sure to tune in tomorrow for Friday Night Live with Val Jenkins and Duran Peak, starting at 7 p.m. sharp. I will be back in the building. My name is Singleton Newman. You can find me next week, October the 3rd. I'm going to be at Women Who Jam, produced by NABFM. It's an all-female music showcase at Horseshoe Casino. Information is on my Facebook page. We're featuring the hottest female performers from all around the DMV, especially Shirley Light is coming in from Philadelphia to slay and do a nice little house music set. We also I'll be down in Atlanta at the A3C Hip Hop Festival from October 8th to the 13th. So if you're from the Atlanta area, you see me around, go ahead and say hello. We'll be around there. And we want to thank you once again for turning in to Worldwide Flavor Network. This is Hot Topics Live. We'll be back next Thursday with more juice, more topics, and more tea. If you want to contribute to anything or start your own show on Worldwide Flavor Network, please go to worldwideflavornetwork.com. There's a link to become a show host, and we're open to hear your proposal on a brand new, hot, fresh show. You can talk about everything. Well, not everything. We'll see. Right here on Worldwide Flavor Network, we're going to get that business started. And without further ado, thank you one more time to our special guest today. Peace and love to A. Michelle, and we'll see you next week. Peace.